Aloha, YouTube friends. I'm Noelani, and I'm excited to share with you today, in my opinion, a few different ways that you can be sure to manifest from your soul and not your ego. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please consider subscribing. I would love to have you, and definitely stay till the end because I've got some awesome pointers and some exciting news. So, the first one, well, let's talk about our soul versus our ego. And, the ego gets a really bad rap. It's very necessary. It's a beautiful part of the human experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And yet, the ego allows us to have a self, an identity. And there's so much to be said about identity. And I'll touch a little bit on it in this video, but the majority of it will stick for other videos because identity is everything. And if you have done any type of self concept work, then you are familiar with this. So, the soul is all about expansion and openness and love and joy and excitement. And often the ego comes from either a place of comparison or attachment or control or forcing or fear. So, soul is love, ego is fear. Because the ego is limited. And I want to add that. And it's not always fear. There's a lot that the ego can provide us in a lot of good ways. And what I want to mention is the ego is our friend. We can be allies. We can become partners with ego instead of enemies. So I don't want to take away from the purpose and the beauty that is also within the ego. But I digress. So, for the first one, the first step that I'd like to share is to clarify what's coming from your soul's desires first over your ego's wants. There is a difference. The ego, again, is often coming from a place of comparison. Sometimes we want something because we see others have it. Maybe it's social media, maybe it's just our hometown, whatever it is. It could be anything. But is it really coming from that? Is it coming from a material, superficial place, comparison place? Or is it coming from a deep inner knowing of the soul's passions, the soul's desires, where there is no need to know what anyone else thinks about it because it's just this strong pulling towards this knowing, yeah? Another step that you can do, another thing that you can do to ensure that you're manifesting from your soul's desires and not your ego's wants is to surrender and to trust, to allow. When we're coming from the ego, we can become very attached. We can want to control or force outcomes, force manifestations instead of trusting in the process, in the creation process. Abraham Hicks often says you can ask. When you ask for a desire, it is given. So we can trust that we are setting our intention, giving it over to the universe, to God, to spirit, to source, to your higher self, to your soul. And we can act on inspired action, what comes and it's inspired and it's easy and it's effortless and it feels like it's flowing versus controlling, trying to force situations, people, places, things, relationships when they're not flowing, when it's not easeful and effortless, and trusting that and just surrendering our will to God's will, to Spirit's will, and to allow and to act on that and be in this space of trusting in the unknown, trusting in the unseen. It's beautiful. And I'll say another one. We'll keep this video short and sweet today, and we'll maybe continue on in the future. But another way to know the difference between whether you're manifesting from your soul or manifesting from your ego is to be, to move forward in that energy. So instead of waiting, expecting, looking down, wanting to know where is our manifestation. And by the way, we are always manifesting. Every single thing, every moment is a manifestation. What we really are doing is aligning or manifesting consciously. We're choosing to manifest something consciously, to align with something, to experience something in our life consciously versus it being unconscious and unaware. So we're bringing awareness into it and we're creating it from this conscious space. So instead of waiting and expecting and being impatient and feeling all these things, act as if. Be in that space, be in that version of you who already knows that your desires, what's good for you, what's meant for you, is on its way. They're all on their way. Versus the opposite of not trusting or checking or forcing or trying to control or allowing yourself to feel anxious or worried or scared or frightened or angry. These emotions, energy in motion, all necessary, but we get to place the meaning on everything. Otherwise, it's all just neutral. So allow yourself to be in the space of your soul, which would be in love, right? In expansion, in joy, in gratitude, in knowing, safety, supported, secure, protected, secured, protected. So it's another way acting as if being in it, in your identity, knowing what that version of you who has what you desire, if it's in alignment, it feels that deep resonance of your soul, how would they be feeling? How would they be navigating? How would they be moving? How would they be acting? How would they experience? I hope this video is resonating with you. I'd love to know which one of these resonates most with you. And also, if you have other ways that you can experience or that you have experienced in your life that helps you know whether you are manifesting from your soul or from your ego, from a place of needing and wanting versus having and being. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love and appreciate all of you. Please consider subscribing, and not only consider, please subscribe. Like, comment, and share with someone that might find value from this. I look forward to the next video. Oh, excuse me, I almost forgot. I did want to share some exciting news. I am relaunching, getting back into my podcast. I have a podcast. I've had a podcast for a few years, and I admit I have not posted a lot in the last few years. There was a lot of resistance to allowing myself to be heard in a bigger way, allowing myself to be seen in a bigger way, and more so than anything, because those big needs, those big asks, those big knowings from the universe, uh, there was just resistance, yes, and less of a capacity to be able to hold all of it in a consistent and grounded way. And it's ironic and beautiful because my podcast is called Embodied with Noelani, aka Embodied with N. And that was a big thing for me. Outside of it was wanting to really embody more of these things that I was experiencing and having the manifestation of it coming back to me, that knowing that, oh, I'm creating this somehow in a conscious way, but to be able to embody some of those deeper lessons and truths that I'd been learning, but hadn't really been able to. And so to keep it short and sweet, I've gone through a lot of beautiful experience. That ask was huge. And so Spirit allowed me to go through these beautiful experiences over the last 3 or so years. So I would have the capacity to be able to hold all of this in a more deep, meaningful, embodied, authentic, and in integrity way, which is all very important to me. And we have these beautiful experiences we get to learn and grow from. So definitely doing that. And I'm having so much grace and compassion and empathy and understanding for myself and also for others in my experience, and very grateful for that. So yeah, that's the big exciting news is I have my podcast. I did record a episode talking about these topics as well as some others. Excuse me, about this topic as well, with multiple and more numbers here. And on the list, I'm tired. I'm Delulu. I'm going to admit it. You can probably tell. But I just wanted to share this. Anyways, I will share that podcast episode in either the comments, in a pinned comment below, or in the description. I will also upload that podcast episode if I'm able to. It's my first episode in a while, and I'm new to this program. I see that Anchor switched into Spotify Creator. And now I'm working with this other app to record the episode. So we'll see. There's video involved. So I'd love to get that video on Spotify as well as onto here. Otherwise, you'll see that I also will be collaborating with a dear friend and soul sister of mine, going even deeper into this same topic, sharing personal experiences and insights in the most raw and off the cuff kind of way. So I'm really looking forward to that. So stay tuned. I've got a lot in store for all of us. I hope you're resonating with this, you're finding value of this. And if so, again, please click that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. And I am so excited and look forward to the next video with you. Until then, much love and aloha. And sweet dreams and good night and good morning wherever you are. And good afternoon too. Okay, bye.